A very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar, namaste, hi, hello. It is my great privilege and pleasure to be back with all of you once again for an Instagram live session. It's been a long time that I haven't been able to come to all of you and interact with all of you, communicate with all of you, have conversations with all of you. And I thought I must break the silence. I've been really, really missing all of you, our lovely Instagram community. And I thought we must do this session ASAP. So this is just the starting of the session, right? And we will probably now once again resume our Instagram live sessions. And like last year during the lockdown, we invited so many guests for our conversations. Hopefully we'll also be able to invite a couple of guests for this year and try and see how we can keep ourselves motivated, inspired to take whatever's coming in our stride and move on with this tough year indeed. But thank you so very much for joining. I'm so delighted, so joyful, and happy to be with all of you. Ankit Gupta, thank you for joining. Shayan, thank you for being with us. Pari Arora, pranam to you. Shailaja, oh, lovely to have you. Thank you for the compliment. Rajesh, Hare Krishna, Mukesh, thank you so much again for joining. Arpita and Gayatri and Pihu, I'm so glad that you're with us. Ayush Bhatt, I'm so grateful that you've joined us this evening. Santosh and Yash Sancheti, thank you very much. Paresh, thank you for joining. Someone's cookie there. I really don't know what your name is, but whoever's the cookie, your Insta handle, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Look, guys, things have been tough for all of us, isn't it? A lot has happened in the last year, one odd year. A lot is still continuing to happen, and somehow we're not able to see when this will all end. Tough times, unprecedented times, and they have affected all of us in our own ways. Absolutely, sometimes we just feel overwhelmed, helpless. Things are not in our control, what's going on out there. We feel despondent because things are not changing. We feel worried and anxious. Students' exams are not happening, placements in the future, people who are professionals, loss of jobs, mortgages to pay, pain of personal loss, intimate personal loss, losing someone to COVID, very painful as well. Dealing with pain, and at the end of it all, it's just so much frustration. And I really feel it's very, very crucial and important for us to bounce back and learn how to deal with all of these things. देखिए देवियों सज्जनों दोस्तों, एक चीज बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. One very important thing. बाहर की चीजें कई बार हम बदल नहीं सकते, लेकिन अंदर की परिस्थिति, यहाँ की परिस्थिति बदलना बहुत जरूरी है. बाहर की दुनिया में कई चीजें जो अपने हाथ में नहीं है. There's a lot of things which are not in our control in the outside world, but it's very important to change things in our inside world. इधर बदलना बहुत जरूरी है, because अगर यहाँ नहीं बदलेंगे तो bounce back नहीं कर पाएंगे. If we do not change things here, our thinking process, our attitudes, our coping capacity and mechanism, we will not be able to bounce back to a regular healthy life mentally and physically back again. So this evening I thought I'll share with you 4 things, 4 principles that are very crucial and important for us to bounce back from any challenge. But we are particularly talking about the COVID pandemic and what the pandemic is doing to us at the current moment. The first thing to know and remember, always know that you are not alone in it. हम अकेले नहीं हैं, right? Everybody is bearing the brunt. Rich, the poor, the middle class, men, women, Americans, Indians, Japanese, Chinese, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Jains, Sikhs, Jews, communists, Marxists, socialists, regardless of our political affiliation, regardless of our gender, regardless of our socio-economic status, regardless of our religion, caste, creed and community, regardless of our nationality, we are all being treated in one way by this situation, right? It's treating us all the same. Of course, some may have more resources to fight them, some may have less resources to fight them, some may be more mentally strong to fight them, some may be less mentally strong to fight them. But we are all fighting, guys. We are all fighting this pandemic and we are all being treated equally. तो सबसे पहले ये बात समझ लीजिए कि आप इसमें अकेले नहीं हैं. We are not alone in this. Somebody told me a funny thing. A psychiatrist put up a message on his clinic during the pandemic lockdown. He put up a message on his clinic. He said, look, if you're talking to the wall at this point of time during the lockdown, it's absolutely normal. Come to us only when the wall starts talking back to you. अगर आप दीवार से बात कर रहे हैं तो ठीक है. अगर दीवार आपसे बात करने लगे ना तब फिर हमारे पास आए. So yes, we all have our mental health problems. Anxieties है, worries है, frustration है, गुस्सा है. We are angry, we are frustrated, we are anxious, we are worried, we are disappointed, despondent, depressed, feeling lonely. घर में बैठे हैं, Just know one thing, we are not alone. And knowing that we are not alone doesn't only make us feel hope that हमारे साथ और भी लोग इसमें हैं, but there's one very important crucial thing. Remember that there is a lot of people out there who are in a very similar situation like yours. Now we should know one thing. A student can never understand what a corporate professional is going through during this pandemic lockdown. And a professional can never understand what a student's anxieties are, exam ki anxieties hai, aage kya hoga, job hai, ye can't understand. A child can never understand the anxieties and worries and insecurities of a housewife. And a housewife cannot understand what exactly the child is going through studying online. You know what? Each one of us are going through a very specific thing based on the particular thing that we are in right now. Students have their own, professionals have their own, housewives have their own, kids have their own, monks have their own. Everybody has their own things that they are dealing with and handling. You know what we need to do, guys? It is very important that we connect to people in our space. If you're a student, connect to other students and form a community. If you are a professional, connect to similar professionals and form a community. I'm a monk and I am with monks right here. Right. This morning, one of my friends, I was up early, like about 2:33 in the morning today. And since there was a cyclone yesterday, I thought I would just text my friend who's in Gujarat and just check with him how he's doing. Because the cyclone is going to pass through Gujarat. I was very anxious for him. And so I just sent him a message. How are you? Is everything safe? And he was up at that time. And he called me, and for about an hour, I got up so that I could meditate and I could do my other things, which I did later. But at about 3 o'clock, up until 4:30, for 1.5 hours, we spoke. Community doesn't need 20 people. Community can have 2 people in the same space who can understand each other. अपने दिल की बात ना खुल के बोल पाओ. If you're a student, and if you talk to other students who are going through something, they may end up sharing their experience with you. And their experience is unique. They may come and tell you that, okay, there is a problem that I had and this is how I dealt with it. आप जानते हैं कि हर एक के मन में, हर एक के दिल में एक इंस्पिरेशन होता है, एक अनुभव होता है, एक विजडम होती है, और वो जब हमारे साथ शेयर करते हैं ना, हो सकता है आपके सिचुएशन के लिए बस वो ही जरूरी था. Sometimes people tell me, sir, you put this Instagram stories up. Prabhuji, you put Instagram stories up. Sometimes I read the DMs. I don't get time to read all the DMs because there's so many. But कभी-कभी हम पढ़ते हैं ये DMs को. और जब पढ़ते हैं तो sometimes people will say, वो जो आपने story डाली ना, that was exactly for me. That point was exactly for me. That story was exactly for me. Sometimes I do these Insta live stories or we post a video and they feel that this is exactly for me. वैसे ही when you make a community, you connect to someone in your space, they will share with you something that they do to deal with their worries, anxieties or their mental health, because they are in the same space. It'll connect to you very well. Professionals alike. Others may not be able to understand what you're going through, but if you connect to others, could be your colleagues, could be your friends who are professionals, and if you connect to them, you will probably be able to get some light, some insight, some hope, some wisdom, some realization, some experience, some coping mechanisms by which you can deal with your situation. एक बात बताऊं, जब भी कभी कोई एक्सीडेंट होता है और जब हम एम्बुलेंस को बुलाते हैं, एम्बुलेंस आएगी जरूर, किस दिशा से आएगी पता नहीं, right? You don't know which direction the ambulance is going to come from. When there's an accident and you call for an ambulance, the ambulance will come, but you have no clue which direction the ambulance is going to come from. So similarly, when you have an issue and you look for help, you have no idea where exactly the help will come from. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, my first principle for this evening to bounce back is, please know you are not alone in this. If you're a student, please know that the anxieties that you have as a student are not unique. Others have the same. If you're a professional, please know that what you're going through inside, others are going through that as well. If you're a housewife, handling things at home in your family during the lockdown, please know that your other friends who are housewives are going through that as well. You are not alone. And therefore, create that community. आप एक दूसरे के साथ अपने आप को जोड़िए अपने स्पेस में, and if you really kind of try to join hands, not literally, but join hands online and try to connect to others, some ray of light may come from there. Otherwise, online content is general motivational content अच्छा होता है, लेकिन specific उनसे ही मिल पाएगा जो अपने स्पेस में हो, क्योंकि आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी को समझ पाएंगे. So that's my first principle. You're not alone. Let's start a community. It could be 2 people. Community doesn't mean 20 people. Connect to someone in your space, and maybe what they share could really help you in your particular space. And the communities are absolutely powerful. So now to our second point, how to bounce back this evening. But before that, let me give a shout out to a few of our friends who are joining us this evening. Deep Blue, thank you very much for Vedant Tiwari. So good to have you, Devesh. Yes, to overcome anxiety, we're going to talk about that as well, of course. Arun Naik, thank you again for joining us this evening. Girish, so happy to have you here. Arpita, thank you for joining. Royal Prince, so happy to have you. Rupashri, I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that all of you are here. Shikhar, so glad that you've joined us as well. Diksha, thank you for joining. I want to give a shout out to each and every one of you, but there's so many of you joining us here this evening. It's getting a little hard to call out everybody's name. We need to move on with our topic as well. Now, here's my second principle, guys. If you're feeling frustrated at this point, normal. If you're feeling depressed at this point because of everything happening around you, normal. If you're feeling anxious, worried about what the future would be and how things would pan out for you in the future, normal. If you're feeling disappointed with the nature of things happening all around you, in the country, in the world, normal. If you're feeling completely lost and lonely to yourself, despite being in the middle of people at home, normal. If you're feeling a little nudged by people in your physical space, your home, or wherever you live, right? Emotionally, when you don't find that space, normal. देखो दोस्तों, ये सब जो इमोशंस हमारे मन में आती है ना, ये नॉर्मल है. ये सब हम सबको होता है. It's just a part of life that we go through all of this. And currently, because of the pandemic and the situation that we are going through, ये normal है. अपने आप guilty मत feel कीजिए अपने आप को. Don't kill yourself by guilt and add to the negativity. पहले इतनी negativity है और उसमें negativity add कीजिएगा, कैसे चलेगा जी? तो इसीलिए मैं आप सबको ये बात बताना चाह रहा हूँ. ये normal है. To go through these emotions is absolutely normal. I know some of you have lost your dear ones. I lost so many of my close friends to COVID. And COVID this time is so strong. The second wave is taking young people 24-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 26-year-olds are losing their lives to COVID. Guys, it's painful. And it's normal to feel that pain. हम सब मशीन नहीं है. हम सब कोई रोबो नहीं है. हम सब स्मार्टफोन में डली हुई कोई सिलिकॉन की चिप नहीं है. मुझे अच्छी तरह से याद है, मैं आई थिंक मैं अमेरिका में था. आई वाज इन अमेरिका एंड आई वाज सिटिंग इन अ पार्क with my friend at a distance on a bench, and I saw just across on the other side there was a massive statue. I said, like a statue, murti of a guy, and he didn't have a shirt on, like a shorts. The statue had just like shorts and it's like ripped with 8-pack abs and like with muscles and like really ripped guy, the statue. And right next to the statue was a bench, and on the bench was another guy sitting, a real human being, with his shirt off as well. Summer season in America, it was hot, and he was wearing a shorts. He was ripped with 8-pack abs and muscles, muscular guy. I was watching both from a distance, and the guy there at the statue was the way he was, or way it was, and the gentleman who was sitting there, आपको बताऊं, despondent, depressed, his weight, holding his face in his hands, very, very depressed. Felt like really affected. I felt I would like to go and talk to him, but I didn't know, American man, I don't want to kind of just go and interfere and, get into his private space, but I felt like I wanted to help him. And then I had a thought in my mind. Here's the statue, here's the guy. Both guys don't have a shirt on. Both guys have a short on. Right. Both guys are ripped. One doesn't feel anything. The other feels. Maybe he had a heartbreak. Maybe he had someone whom he loved who left this world. Maybe he lost a job. Maybe he was insulted by somebody. दोस्तों, इंसान है हम, और इंसान है तो लगेगा. मैं हमेशा कहता हूं, जिंदगी है ना जनाब, जिंदगी है ना जनाब, तकलीफ तो होगी, वरना मरने के बाद तो जलने का भी एहसास नहीं होता है. सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, ये बात समझिए ना कि हम लोग सब इंसान है, मशीन नहीं है. दुख होना, डिप्रेशन होना, अकेलापन लगना, किसी के अपमान से चोट पहुंचना, दोस्तों नॉर्मल है, बिल्कुल नॉर्मल है. एंड आई फील दैट हीलिंग doesn't begin after the pain is over. Healing begins when we go through the pain. Experiencing that real pain is a part of the healing process as well. उस पेन से गुजरना और उस पेन को अलाउ करना आने में, that is a part of healing as well. Like some of you guys, if you work out, you would know. Right? When you're working out, whichever muscle you're working, whichever part of the body you're working, you have to know one thing, that your muscles are being torn, the finer tissues of your muscles are being torn, and they cause pain. And when they cause pain, that pain, when those tissues repair themselves when you rest, is when muscles are developed. That pain is a part of healing. That pain is a part of growth. So do not resist that pain. उस pain को resist मत कीजिए. Right. Let that pain come out. I read something very interesting this morning. I was like really amazed to read this. I can't remember who said it, I can't remember where I read it, but this post was really, really interesting, guys. It said, tears gliding down your eyes, tears coming down your eyes are the physical manifestation of an emotional pain. है ना? अंदर कुछ emotional pain होती है, लेकिन आता है आंखों से physically, literally physical tears coming down, but then this is simply a manifestation of the emotional pain we are going through. You know what? Imagine if we do not allow the physical manifestation to happen. अगर अपनी भावनाओं को बाहर आने नहीं दे, अगर हम अपनी भावनाओं से नहीं गुजरे, तो जो अंदर पकड़ के रखा है, अंदर पाइल अप करके रखा है, कितना टॉक्सिक होगा सोचिए ना दोस्तों. How toxic it will be if we cannot release those emotions, if we cannot release the pain. And therefore, releasing our pain, releasing those emotions, releasing what we are going through is healing. Healing is not just some positivity. Healing is not just some motivation. Healing is not just some pushed positive motivational talks. To go through our pain, to release those emotions, whether it's through tears, whether it's through doing what we do. Trust me, that is a very, very essential process of healing as well. Or इसीलिए ना, who was saying that? I don't know who said it recently. They were saying, I think probably even I said it in one of the Insta Live sessions, that our body is made probably of 75% water, isn't it? 75% water. And probably whatever 25% blood. Don't ask me technical questions on that, right? And our heart is probably made of like 25% water or 75% blood. Pumps blood to the other parts of the body. Body में सबसे ज्यादा पानी है, खून कम है. लेकिन जहां भी बॉडी में चोट पहुंचती है तो बाहर क्या आता है? खून. और दिल में खून ज्यादा है और पानी कम है, लेकिन दिल में चोट पहुंचती है तो आंखों से क्या आता है? पानी. Isn't it a very interesting principle there? But I must tell you something, guys. Do not resist your pain. Please, do not resist your pain. It's normal to go through this emotional turmoil, especially during the current situation and scenario. Normal है. और एक और बात बताऊं? One more very important crucial aspect is this, that the mind is not going to remain negative all the time. नेगेटिव रह के भी माइंड थक जाता है. नेगेटिव रह के भी माइंड पक जाता है. नेगेटिव रह के भी माइंड परेशान हो जाता है. There's a point of time when your mind is ready for something positive. When it's ready, then positivity will help you. When it's not ready, anything that you push inside is toxic. It is important for us to go through that inner journey, releasing that pain, allowing ourselves to feel those emotions. And when we are ready, trust me, every positive word will help you bounce back. Every positive word will heal you. But that's the second part of healing. The first part of healing is to just go through what you're going through. And therefore, if you've lost a near and dear one, and if you're in pain, please know it's normal. In those memories that you have in your heart of those individuals, cry if you feel like crying. Be angry if you feel like being angry. Be upset if you feel like being upset. Just go through what your heart is going through, because that is an essential aspect of healing, and your heart and your mind will come out of that phase in time. As you feel, now that I need something to come out of this, that is when videos on social motivational videos online, or somebody is discussing with somebody around you, will really heal you further as well. Let the healing process go on. And so my second point for this evening, guys, dear friends, is it's absolutely normal to feel negativity in this negative situation or in any negative situation. And feeling that negativity, going through those feelings, being very authentic and genuine in how we go through what we go through, is a part of healing. And then that is when we will be able to take the next phase of healing, which is the positive things which can help us bounce back and come out of what we are going through. Hang on, guys, and stay with us as we move on to the third out of the 4 points of how to bounce back in the current situation. But before that, a couple of shout outs to those who have joined us and are joining us and are sending these comments and greetings and kind words to us this evening. Sachdev, thank you for your kind words. Omi, very happy to have you. Anu, Radha, very happy. Khushbu, thank you for joining us. Vikram, so glad that you're with us. And Ekta, I'm so grateful that you are with us today. Sumit, very, very happy to see you. Mech Insiders, Shrish, 17, Vaibhavi. Oh, the list is endless. Ishwi and Chaya. So grateful that you are with us today for this Instagram live session. 4 things required to bounce back in the middle of the chaos, the mayhem, the pandemonium, the difficulty, the negativity. We all want to see how to bounce back. And trust me, this is not going to be the last session. I'm sorry. My apologies for the silence for so long. Things was caught up with a little things that were going on. But now I think I'm back again to be with all of you. And trust me, I really love all of you a lot from the core of my heart. And I feel so grateful to each and every one of you who join us and who are trying to support this community of love, this community of inspiration, this community of motivation, this community of sharing wisdom and making this wisdom reach as many people as possible, to serve them, to help them, to add value to their lives, to make a difference to their lives. That's what we are about. That's what this Instagram handle is all about. And I try my tiny bit in my own way to serve you all. And you can all be catalysts in this entire process by sharing what you've heard with others who are in desperate need of what you've heard this evening. To our third point now, in the ashram that I live, we have like a campus, not all that big, but a campus. And there are 3 or 4 families who live in the campus. And we have a wonderful family. And they have a 4-year-old daughter. Her name is Vrinda. Quite a chatty girl, 4-year-old, quite a grandma girl. Dadi ma jaisi baatein karti hai. I remember when I was traveling before the lockdown, one day Vrinda comes up to me and says, "Bahut samay ho gaya, dikhe nahi Prabhu ji aap." 4-year-old girl is asking me this. I said, "नहीं, मैं दिल्ली गया हुआ था Vrinda. नहीं, हमने सबको हमारे घर में लंच के लिए बुलाया था, इसलिए पूछ रही थी." मैं बोला तो मुझे नहीं बुलाया. नहीं, आप दिल्ली में थे ना. Quite a girl, you know. And then after a couple of months I saw her again and I said to Vrinda, अभी तो मैं इधर हूँ ना Vrinda, बॉम्बे में आश्रम में इधर ही हूँ, तो अभी नहीं बुला रही लंच के लिए मुझे अपने घर में. बोले नहीं, आपका फोन नंबर नहीं है ना, तो मैसेज कैसे करूँगी. 4-year-old girl. But recently I went down to our temple room where we all come for our prayer and our meditation sessions, and I wasn't wearing a mask. I wasn't wearing a mask. And Vrinda, she came up to me and she said, "Mask kahan hai Prabhu ji?" Goodness mine. And I've seen her, she's not missed wearing a mask a single day. She's 4-year-old. If she comes out of her home, she's not missed her mask one single day. And she came and asked me, "Aapka mask kahan hai Prabhu ji?" मैंने बोला, मेरे कमरे में है Vrinda. She said to me, कमरे में है तो लेकर आइए ना. मैं बोला, अरे कमरे में ऊपर 4 फ्लोर चढ़ के जाना पड़ेगा ना Vrinda. नहीं, अभी आपको मास्क लाना. I went up. I got the mask just for her. Put my mask on. And I said, what an incredible reminder from Vrinda. You know what, guys? A very important thing. We all want to get rid of the mental health issues we're going through currently. We all want to get rid of all the insecurities, worries, the issues, the frustration that are happening because of the pandemic. Trust me, we will only be able to end them if we act responsibly. No matter what vaccination we get, no matter how many rules and lockdowns are enforced nationally and locally in our states, but if we as individuals don't act responsibly, we are not going to be able to break this chain of the COVID-19. मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूँ दोस्तों, हम रिस्पॉन्सिबल है इसके लिए. बाकी सब तो जरूरी है, लेकिन हम ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल है कि ये कोविड का चेन टूट जाए, right? And therefore I always say, in Japan, they say, if everybody can do it, I can do it as well. If nobody can do it, I must do it. India, we have a whole different thing there. If everybody can do it, why should I do it? If nobody can do it, how can I do it? I hate to say it. I'm an Indian. I hate to say it. But sometimes I feel that we in India lack a sense of social responsibility. And therefore, if we want to end this soon and come out and be normal again, we have to take responsibility, social responsibility. So many people have lost their lives. And we cannot take it easy. I want to say it here today. In the month of April, I was down with COVID. I did not post it anywhere. I did not want to share it. In the month of April, I was down with COVID for 2 weeks. Terrible. Of course, in the ashram, we had our own team of doctors who came in to help me instantly, and I could bounce back. Thank God. But it is indeed bad. And therefore, please be careful. Don't venture out. If it's not required, don't venture out. Stay at home, stay safe. If you have to go out, wear your mask. Practice social distancing. Do what is necessary. I have gone through the pain. And everybody who's gone through the pain can vouch for it. That it's not the same kind of thing that we go through. Right? Terrible, guys. It is terrible. I'm saying it from my personal experience. And therefore, my third principle for today is take responsibility, be responsible, save yourself and save others. We will all be able to handle everything carefully. Things will be back to normal if we take responsibility and are careful. Rather than being fearful, let us be careful, hopeful, and useful and helpful to others. And now here's my last principle for this evening. The first one, you remember, you are not alone in it. There are others. Connect to someone in your space, form a community, get guidance. It'll help you in your particular space. Number 2, remember that going through negativity is normal. It's a part of healing. Once your mind is ready, you're ready for the second phase of healing, which could be a positivity, whatever else. And if it's beyond you, professional help. The third principle we have spoken of is we want to stop this and bounce back. We need to be responsible in how we interact with the world at this point in time. And here's my last tiny bit of advice to all of you. But before that, a couple of more shout outs as we end. Manas, thank you very much for joining. Asha Lata and Nautiyal Shanvi, Abhishek Ranjan and Hyper 80 Bharti Chauhan, thank you very much for joining. Deepthi, very glad that you're with us here. Radhaya and Megha, so happy. Baby girl Piyu and Nitin and Skyboy, very, very happy that you are all here this evening. We're going to be coming up with some very, very special live sessions again very, very soon for you, bringing in some really special guests to chat with, and so that we can hear their experience as well and enrich our lives during this unprecedented, difficult and turbulent times. Of course, I don't want to keep the conversation COVID all the time. Even in the future, we'll have other conversations as well. But since I'm meeting you all after a long time, I thought I must re-emphasize and reinforce these principles once again. Here's the last principle and point for today evening's live session. 4 things required to bounce back in the middle of the mayhem, chaos, pandemonium and negativity that's happening all around us. Here's the last principle. I always love to tell the story. I think it was Akbar and Birbal. It could have been some other king. But Akbar wanted to make a lake of milk in his kingdom. अकबर ने सोचा कि हमारे राज्य में हम एक दूध का तालाब बनाते हैं. किसी और राज्य में ऐसा तालाब नहीं. There is no such lake in any other kingdom. We will be the first guys. We will be the first ones to make a lake like that. So he had his people dig a massive pit, like a massive ditch, and made an announcement to everybody in the kingdom that night, उस रात को हर एक व्यक्ति आए और एक लोटा दूध उसमें डाल दे. every citizen in the kingdom can come and put one lota of milk or one pot of milk into the pitch, into the ditch. And guess what? Next morning, Akbar thought we'll have a lake of milk if everybody just puts one lota of one pot of milk in the ditch, in the pit. And Akbar said you can do it in the night so nobody has to see. And guess what? The next morning when Akbar and Bilbar were walking by, Akbar saw another lake of water. They had many lakes already, and now he had another lake full of water. You know why? Because every person was thinking. हर एक व्यक्ति सोच रहा था. You know what they were thinking? अरे बाकी सब लोग तो एक अपना अपना एक लोटा दूध डालने ही वाले हैं ना, तो मैं अगर एक लोटा पानी डाल दूं तो कौन देखेगा, कैसे पता चलेगा? अगर लाख लोगों का एक एक लोटा पानी आ जाए, उसमें मेरा एक लोटा लाख लोगों का एक एक लोटा दूध आ जाए, उसमें मेरा एक लोटा पानी आ गया तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? एंड एवरीबडी वाज थिंकिंग लाइक दैट. क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? मैं अगर डालू नहीं ये अपना लोटा दूध तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? एंड एवरीबडी केम and put a lota in a pot of water and you had a lake of water. You know what, guys? It's time, and I see all of you who attend 11,000, we had about 14,000 people. You know what? Most all of you are joining us here are very young people. And at this point in time, our country and the world needs our lota of contribution, our pot of contribution. If you think everybody else is doing it, the celebrities or the other non-profit, they are all doing it. मेरे एक छोटे लोटे पानी से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? बाकी तो दूध डाल ही रहे हैं, उनको डालने दो, मैं अपना कुछ नहीं करता. I'll tell you what, guys. Let us extend our hand to help. Let us make our own tiny little contribution. हनुमान जी का बड़ा पत्थर हो राम के ब्रिज में, या उस गिलहरी का छोटा सा एक सैंड का कण हो, उस ब्रिज के कंस्ट्रक्शन में अपना अपना हाथ जरूर बटाए, जरूर जोड़े. आज लोगों को इंसानियत की जरूरत है. आई एम रिमाइंडेड ऑफ दैट सॉन्ग, यू नो, है सुना ये सारी धरती तू चलाता है. I've heard that you are the one who's running this whole place, right? भगवान है कहाँ रे तू, हे खुदा है कहाँ रे तू, है सुना तू भटके मन को राह दिखाता है, मैं भी खोया हूँ मुझे घर बुलाता है, भगवान है कहाँ रे तू, हे खुदा है कहाँ रे तू. कहाँ है? पैंडेमिक चल रहा है, कहाँ है खुदा, कहाँ है भगवान? Where is that God? Where is that created? Where is that power? Where is that universe? कहाँ है? That question, कहाँ है? मर रहे हैं लोग, मर रहे हैं, कहाँ है? Right? Where is he? I have a small tiny reflection to contribute on this, guys. I feel the creator, the Khuda, the Bhagavan, the universe, that power, whatever you want to call, is the one who has created something incredible. उस खुदा, उस ईश्वर, उस भगवान, उस परमात्मा, जो भी बोलिए, उसने एक बहुत अच्छी चीज बनाई है इस दुनिया में, और उस चीज का नाम है इंसानियत. God has created something incredible, guys. And what He's created is humanity in the hearts of human beings. Why rely on him or her? Or why rely on that when He has created us and He's created that humanity, that insaniyat in our hearts? आज दुनिया को स्ट्रैटेजी से ज़्यादा इंसानियत की ज़रूरत है. स्ट्रैटेजी तो चाहिए, लेकिन इंसानियत, ह्यूमैनिटी, हेल्प, whatever little you can do for whoever, help. Try doing your bit. अपना छोटा लोटा दूध डाल दीजिए, ये मत सोचिए कि दूसरा दूध डाल रहे तो मैं पानी डाल देता हूँ. So many are doing good work. Let us also do whatever little good we can in our own way. And if we do that, we will all be able to bounce back together. We are all together in it. एक साथ, इंसानियत, humanity, being there for each other, to do our tiny bit in a way that we can bounce back. And therefore, the 4 things I want to once again remind you. Number 1, remember one thing, you're not alone, guys. अकेले नहीं है. Find someone in your space. Create a community. They may have some inspiration that can probably transform your life. Number 2, it's normal to feel negative at this point in time. Go through it. Don't resist your feelings and emotions. It's a part of the healing process that will make you feel and make you ready for the next phase of your healing in a positive way. Number 3, let us all become responsible, right? Because it is us who can break this chain more than anything else by practicing all what is required properly and diligently. And number 4, ladies and gentlemen and friends, understand that this is the time to add our own lota of milk. एक छोटा सा contribution अगर डाल देंगे ना, किसी की जान बच सकती है, किसी का दिन बन सकता है, किसी की लाइफ बन सकती है. हमारे लिए कोई ऐसा फरिश्ता आया है, हम भी किसी के लिए वो फरिश्ता बने. And let us try and come out of this situation together. Hope against hope. We will definitely come out of it. This tough situation will also pass away. My prayers and all of our prayers together for all those who are struggling with this COVID, some of whom have lost their lives, our prayers for them. Our prayers to the families who are going through struggles after having lost their near and dear ones. Our prayers for the universe. Our prayers for everybody globally, that we can bounce back and come out of it together. Our prayers that things come back to normal soon. And in order that those prayers be successful, we all will have to be responsible as well. A part of a solution and not a part of the problem. One of the days coming soon. In my tradition, I practice chanting of the names of God, which we call Kirtan. And very soon I would want to do this chant for peace on Instagram in a live session where I will come live and we will chant for peace, chant for those who have left us, chant to give strength to the families who are losing people, going through struggles, and together spread this incredible spiritual positive vibration all around the world. Once again, I want to thank all of you for staying with us, joining us for this Instagram live session. A couple of last shout outs. Sumanta Shulitz, Bunny Yadav, Anuja Kali. Thank you very much for joining us. Saramsh, so happy to have you. Yashu Yashaswini, Pravi, thank you so much for joining us. Pavan Reddy and being Musu, I cannot thank you all for joining us. Guys, I love you a lot. I really want to join you once again very soon for our Instagram live session. Until then, please stay safe, stay fit, stay healthy, stay at home. Don't venture out if it's not necessary. Follow all what is required, all the necessary protocols, and wish all of you a great evening ahead. Thank you all very much.